Hey, Miss Ella again here, back with another story. This one's called Instructions Not Included: How a Team of Women Coded the Future. This is written by Tammy Lewis Brown and Debbie Lauren Dunn and illustrated by Chelsea Beck. Not long ago, there were no computers. Math problems were solved with pencil and paper. Telephones with rotary dials were tethered to wires. Mail arrived in an envelope carried by a postman. Files were stored in paper folders and metal cabinets. All that work took lots of steps and lots of people and lots of time. But some people thought there was a better way, an automatic way to solve routine problems by using a machine. 3 computer pioneers, Betty Snyder, Jean Jennings, and Kay McNulty, and their computer ENIAC, a computer like Betty, different from anything anybody has ever seen. Like Jean, persistent and consistent. Like Kay, no mistakes, every answer perfect. A computer programmed to perform like the women who made it, and like computers still perform today. This is their story. In the 1930s, left-handed Betty, out of place, stands on the wrong side of her double bass. The conductor scolds. Make it sound silky. Make it bellow deep. Cross-eyed, bullied, and teased, she plucks the strings with stubborn zeal. Betty Snyder plays her own way. Smack, thwack, crack. Farm girl Jean, tall and lean, winds up and rocks back. Her softball hits the side of a barn. 1,000 tosses, 1,000 throws, 1,000 pitches, until every ball strikes the tiny tin target. Jean Jennings aims to win. A plus K never misses a day. She skips 3rd grade on up to 4th. Her pencil pirouettes, eraser confetti flies, perfect attendance, perfect report cards, perfect behavior. Even a prize for perfect handwriting. Kay McNulty curtsies to the crowd. Betty, Jean, and Kay do not know one another. Not yet. But in her sleep, Betty dreams of music and equations. While in a one-room schoolhouse, Jean masters 5th, 6th, and 7th grade math, all in 1 year. And in her Irish accent, Kay tutors her big brothers, first English, then poetry, and then, of course, arithmetic. The girls are brilliant, brave, and bold, but best of all, they love math. Now it is 1944. The world is at war. All hands on deck, America calls. The newspapers cry female help wanted, mathematicians. At a secret lab at the University of Pennsylvania, 100 women called computers solve tens of thousands of math problems using only paper, pencils, and adding machines. Which angle to aim a gun and when to launch a bomb, they calculate around the clock to win the war with math. But upstairs, a bigger secret, a top secret, a secret weapon. Upstairs, circuits are soldered, panels built, cables strung, and switches wired. Upstairs, a machine is being born, one that will do the work of all the human computers in a fraction of the time. The machine's name is ENIAC. It weighs 30 tons, and it's 100 feet long. Some say when they switch ENIAC on, the lights of Philadelphia dim. It will take more than one mind to realize a dream as big as ENIAC. It will take engineers and electricians, machinists, and mathematicians. A half-dozen mathematicians, including Betty, Jean, and Kay, are invited upstairs to solve one of the most complicated problems anyone has ever faced. To invent a way to tell a machine to perform complex calculations at record speeds, and to make sure the answers are always correct. ENIAC comes with no guidelines or rules, instructions not included. And at first, the women aren't allowed to touch or even see the computer. Still, the bosses shout, "Do the math and make it work." Engineers solder circuit boards and machinists forge frames, and Betty, Jean, and Kay begin too, adding, subtracting, multiplying, dividing, translating math's logic into a code that will command ENIAC to perform. As the mighty machine comes together and electricity and data begin to flow, the teams now toggle hundreds of switches on ENIAC's front, plug countless tubes into its back, and string miles of wire between the panels. They sing and dance and calculate around the clock until they fall asleep. Finally, Betty, Jean, and Kay are ordered to unveil ENIAC to dignitaries, generals, and even their own bosses. In 2 weeks' time, they are expected to demonstrate ENIAC's speed and power, to prove this machine is worthy of the huge investment, and to show computers have a future in war and in peace. With a massive stack of punch cards, Betty, Jean, and Kay send information to the computer and program ENIAC for its debut. It's a complicated problem. An artillery launch with many variables, like air temperature, altitude, weight, and speed, all calculated in a flash, with just one chance to hit the target. And ENIAC isn't ready. While Betty and Jean pitch ideas, untangle logical knots, and imagine solutions, above and beyond, Kay checks the calculations the old-fashioned way, with paper and pencil. Kay's answers are always right. But can ENIAC perform as well? Or will it stumble? Project canceled, expensive machine scrapped, brilliant mathematician sent home, ending it all for the world's fastest computer for Betty and Jean and Kay. The women set up the problem. Click, whir, buzz. ENIAC spits out the results. Answer, wrong. When the imaginary shell strikes the ground, it doesn't explode. The missile continues down, 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 and disappears deep beneath the Earth's crust. Betty and Jean realize Kay recalculates, readjusts, rework, reprogram, then start all over again. Click, whir, buzz, click, whir, buzz. But ENIAC is still wrong. Where is the trouble? Where is the bug? Tomorrow, the dignitaries and generals and bosses will march in and ENIAC's answer will still be wrong. But the women and their computer can't fail. Not now, not with so much at stake. They recalculate, reanalyze, and reprogram again. Finally, exhausted, Betty falls asleep, but her mind is still awake, and suddenly she dreams the solution. So simple. ENIAC's program is repeating one of the calculations. ENIAC and the bomb don't know when to stop. So the women toggle a switch, a single switch out of thousands to change the equation. And they take a deep, deep breath. And they hope. The next morning, the dignitaries and generals and bosses march in. Arms fold, lips purse, wrinkles, brows wrinkle. Click, whir, buzz. Click, click, click. Click. One outshoots a key punch card with the answer. And it's right! The dignitaries and generals and bosses congratulate themselves. Good job, great show. The men shake each other's hands. We've done it. And they march out for their celebration banquet. But there are no congratulations for the programmers. The women in ENIAC celebrate alone. Still the next day and the next and the next and the next, Betty and Jean and Kay keep programming. To solve the biggest problems, computer memory has to be elegantly organized, as carefully composed as a symphony. Betty arranges computer memory in logical harmony. Now the machine sifts data with a single command. Her innovation is called sort merge. To repeat a procedure without moving the machine's wires, a computer must remember and replay. Jean makes computers hold their instructions, like a star pitcher whose arm has a memory of its own. Her innovation is called a stored program. To make computers faster, smaller, and more powerful, they must do more with less. Kay shuffles the code so computers are smart and thrifty. Her innovation is called reducing and reusing memory. Betty, Jean, and Kay unleash their talents, share their secrets, pair their smarts with computer speed. Exploring, creating, inventing. Using math in a way that nobody has ever dreamed of. Unraveling problems that no one has ever solved before. Until ENIAC is not the only computer, or even the fastest computer. until the whole world is different and new, and an entire computer age is born.